This transfer student needs the entire police force to escort him to school.
Parents are protesting fiercely, refusing to let their children attend school with this demon.
It turns out the transfer student is a murderer.
As he walks to the classroom, Mr. Luo from the department is waiting for him. Guize is nervous, fearing Mr. Luo might kill him at any second.
2 years ago, Mr. Luo's fiancée, Jaja, was Guize's teacher.
On an ordinary afternoon, Jaja discovered he was selling happy pills at school. But instead of calling the police, she approached him, hoping he would turn himself in for leniency.
Guize agreed without hesitation, but in the next second, a knife was plunged into Jaja. Teacher, the fact that you asked me to turn myself in means you haven't told anyone else.
As long as I kill you, no one will know. And with the juvenile protection law, I'll be out in 2 or 3 years to keep selling.
Guize was right. The judge only sentenced him to 2 years. Mr. Luo was trembling with rage. He couldn't accept the verdict and waited in his car. As soon as Guize left the court, Mr. Luo floored it to hit him. But his father-in-law intervened at the last second, not wanting him to ruin his future over his daughter. Mr. Luo could only roar in anger. The Education Bureau was established because of this, as he didn't want to see any more teachers suffer his fiancée's fate.
Unexpectedly, the boy who claimed he'd keep selling drugs ended up taking a knife wound for a prison guard.
After the wound was dressed, the doctor said it was deep and nearly fatal. Guize even knelt before Mr. Luo. Mr. Luo is a good teacher. It was all my impulse. I will study hard once I'm out.
Because of this meritorious act, the prison decided to release him early.
Has he truly reformed? Actually, Guize had a bigger conspiracy in store for Mr. Luo, who had nearly died. Back at school, Guize was bullied by the school thug, Hausi. I heard you killed a teacher. Is that for real? Guize looked at him expressionlessly, and Hausi excitedly shouted for everyone to watch. Is this the look of a killer?
Do you want to kill me too?
Guize ignored him and took out his books, but Hausi threw them aside. A murderer wants to study? Guize stayed silent, so Hausi challenged him. Want me to call you brother? Guize replied calmly. Call me whatever you want. Little did he know, he was already on the Rules blacklist.
After class, Rules discovered a strange student at Chenyuan High named Fatty, who never brought books to school, carrying only a Wi-Fi router and a power bank in his bag.
The school bully gang would mooch off his Wi-Fi and charging every day. It was clearly bullying. So Rules took a risk and went to the Education Bureau to report the bullying. Teacher Luo and the director were stunned. Since when did a murderer like you become so kind-hearted? But since a report was filed, the Education Bureau had to intervene. Strangely, when Teacher Luo went to Chenyuan High to check on Fatty, he found no injuries. Fatty even called Hausi his good friend, not looking like a victim at all. It was too weird.
The Education Bureau sent a hacker to the internet cafe. No sooner had he found the bully gang than he was recognized by an old classmate who blurted out that he worked for the Bureau.
With his identity exposed, the hacker had to hand the mission over to Teacher Lin.
The hacker transformed his look. Glasses on, headphones on, hair disheveled, and a fake mole added to his mouth. In a second, he went from a teacher to a pathetic nobody no one would notice. He walked into the cafe and deliberately bumped into Hausi, spilling his drink all over him.
Hausi's face changed instantly. Watch where you're going.
Teacher Lin instinctively wanted to fight back, but the hacker's voice came through the earpiece.
Don't look up, don't make eye contact, you're just a loser now.
In the past, Hausi would have slapped the guy, but now, fearing the Education Bureau might catch him, he had to swallow his anger and let Lin walk away. Teacher Lin took off his glasses and cursed under his breath. But fortunately, the glasses had recorded Hausi's voice. Back at the Bureau, the hacker cloned the voice. By wearing the earpiece, they could speak exactly like Hausi. The hacker called Fatty using the voice, demanding his account login and password.
Fatty countered, "Are you really the bully?" The hacker's tone was too polite. Fatty sensed something was off. Teacher Lin grabbed the mic and snapped. "Damn it!
Who else would I be but Hausi? Hand them over in 3 seconds.
That felt right to Fatty, so he quickly gave up the credentials, leaving the hacker dumbfounded. Once logged in, they discovered the gang was using Fatty's account to order takeout and top up games, with one transaction even exceeding $100,000. The account was still hemorrhaging money, meaning the only reason Fatty wasn't getting beaten was that he was serving as the bully gang's free piggy bank. What's worse, the school bullies used Fatty's ID to post fake items on secondhand platforms. They'd close their accounts the moment a buyer paid, and whenever buyers came looking, the blame always fell on Fatty, who was constantly getting beaten up at his doorstep. Fatty didn't dare to report it to the police because all the evidence was under his name. Thinking that after being their meal ticket for so long, he and Hausi were friends, Fatty asked Hausi the next day for some money to reimburse the buyers, saying, "Otherwise, I'll keep getting beaten." Hausi smiled and replied,
What can I do? My allowance is all gone.
Why don't you go take out a high-interest loan?
Fatty was completely heartbroken, so he took his mother to see Halsey's mom to reveal that Halsey had been using him as a meal ticket, along with all the expense receipts. To everyone's surprise, Halsey had used his social media account to send adult videos to his own sister, and he even beat them to the punch, claiming, "Fatty has been bullying me at school. I didn't want to say anything because it's embarrassing, but my sister is my closest relative. I can't take it anymore."
Fatty was stunned. He never expected to be framed like this.
Fatty's mother hurriedly apologized, and Halsey warned Halsey, "If you dare tell my mom again, I'll use your account to send these adult videos to every girl in class." Fatty was stuck with nowhere to turn because, as mentioned, all the evidence was under his name, so he had to force back his tears with a smile. Over time, the school bully group racked up a bill of nearly $1 million, draining the life savings Fatty's mother had earned from a lifetime of hard work. His mother was so distraught she cried every day, mistakenly believing her son was out acting like a big spender. At his wit's end, a classmate who had just been released from detention told him, "Go to Teacher Luo. He's not afraid of bullies and can definitely help you solve this."
Fatty was surprised. You're someone who attacked a teacher. Why would you be kind enough to help a classmate?
But Fatty didn't think too much of it. As long as he could get out of this mess, the person helping him would be his savior. However, as soon as Fatty approached Teacher Luo, Halsey found out and immediately reported Fatty to the school disciplinary committee, claiming that Fatty was bullying him.
Fatty was completely dumbfounded.
At the disciplinary committee meeting, the parents and lawyers for both sides sat on opposite sides. In such a setting, Teacher Luo had no authority to speak and could only observe. Teacher Luo watched helplessly as Halsey presented a medical diagnosis stating he had developed depression due to the bullying.
Fatty was furious. He stood up and shouted, "I'm the victim."
"They used my money and accounts to scam people. My mom and I are so broke, we're eating dirt." But the opposing lawyer only asked him one thing. "Do you have any evidence to prove it?"
Pang was left speechless, and the lawyer even accused him of defamation. Pang's rage burned as he clenched his fists and said, "Just check where those deliveries were sent, and you'll know who's lying."
The opposing lawyer shouted, "Halsey only borrowed money for you for study materials, and he's already paid you back."
How dare you turn the tables?
Pang was stunned. What money?
"I never received any money from him." He quickly pulled out his phone and saw a transfer of $1 million from Halsey.
Pang was completely dumbfounded.
Halsey, sitting across from him, kept smiling, his eyes saying, "Kid, you're still too green to play games with me." In the end, the lawyer said that as long as Pang agreed to settle, they wouldn't pursue it further. Otherwise, he would have to pay damages. Upon hearing about the money, Pang's mother quickly agreed to the settlement, even bowing to Halsey and saying, "I'm sorry, it's all my son's fault."
You've suffered.
Ultimately, the school gave Pang a major demerit, a stain that would follow him for the rest of his life. When Teacher Lin found out, he was so angry he nearly flipped the school roof.
The next morning, he disguised himself as a high school student, wearing glasses with a hidden camera and a fake mole, intentionally appearing in plain sight to get Halsey's attention and avenge Pang. Halsey immediately recognized him as the wimp who had his drink spilled the other day.
"Hey, remember me?"
Teacher Lin said by way of greeting.
"Hello there."
The hacker whispered a reminder.
"Don't sound so tough."
"You have to act scared to look like an easy target." Teacher Lin immediately adjusted his glasses and said, "Hello?" He then opened his bag, intending to pay for the dry cleaning of his clothes. Halsey smiled instantly. He didn't expect that just after losing Pang, another free meal ticket had arrived.
Halsey immediately stopped him and said, "No need."
Are you a new transfer student? Let me show you around.
Halsey acted like a good guy, planning to befriend the new victim before fleecing him. Then, Teacher Lin reached the classroom door. Just as he was about to enter, the hacker told him to stop. "You're a wimp. How can you walk in front of the school bullies? You should be walking behind them." Teacher Lin slammed on the brakes, looking cautious as he let them go first. But when it was his turn to enter, the bullies intentionally tripped him. Halsey hypocritically asked, "Are you okay?" In reality, he was just testing to see if he was truly a pushover. But the next second, Teacher Lin's hot-tempered side emerged. His expression turned cold instantly as he walked over, ready to throw a punch. The hacker hurriedly said, "Stay calm. You're on a mission. You must hold back." He then forced a bright smile. "I'm fine. Thanks for your concern."
Halsey was satisfied now. Sure enough, he was a pushover.
He then started to make demands. "If you really want to thank me, lend me your Netflix account." Little did Halsey expect, Teacher Lin took out an account handbook featuring Netflix, gaming, and shopping accounts. Whatever he wanted, it was all there.
Teacher Lin even pulled out a portable Wi-Fi hotspot and a high-capacity power bank. He even had data cables ready.
Halsey was grinning from ear to ear.
Halsey followed up,
You're too accommodating.
Were you this much of a pushover at your old school too? Teacher Lin replied, I just like being helpful to others. Teacher Lin even asked them to unlock their phones and thoughtfully help them connect to the Wi-Fi. In reality, the moment he got the phones, the hacker sent a link. As soon as Teacher Lin clicked it, the hacker hacked into their phones and took control of all their accounts. Next came an eye for an eye. The hackers started spending money from their accounts and sent spam messages to their friends and family. 999 messages at a time. Immediately after, the hacker logged into Housy's gaming account. The game had a strict profanity filter. Just saying a single curse word would get you banned for 7 days and nights. So the hacker told Teacher Lin, who had been holding back his frustration all day, to spew profanities for as long as possible. Teacher Lin got into it instantly. The hacker turned on the in-game microphone. Is your pig brain filled with nothing but trash?
You might as well rip it off and use it to decorate a Christmas tree.
You bastards. Someone says you're handsome and you actually believe it? Your face is ugly enough to explode.
Your life is such a mess. You might as well fall into hell and burn.
The hacker sitting nearby wanted to cry. He had never heard such vile language in his life, and even wanted to cover his ears and run away. A few minutes later, Housy suddenly sprang up from his chair.
The screen showed his game account was banned for 300 years.
Housy was stunned. He wouldn't even be alive by then.
It didn't stop there.
The hacker controlled their shopping accounts, spending money during class, after class, and even while they were in the restroom. He couldn't stop them at all. He lost over $1 million in just 2 or 3 days. Unable to take it anymore, Housy went to the delivery address from the online order, but couldn't find the person. Instead, his motorcycle caught the eye of 2 thugs.
Hey, what are you doing?
The 2 thugs were stunned. We're here to buy a used bike. They even produced proof of the transaction. Housy finally realized someone had hijacked his account. He hadn't sold his bike at all, and his only reply was a slap to the face. The next morning, Housy stormed into the classroom, pointed at Mr. Lin, and snapped. "You've been messing with me these past few days, haven't you, you hypocrite?"
You used the Wi-Fi connection as an excuse to hack my phone.
He grabbed Mr. Lin by the collar and hoisted him up. Start talking while I'm still trying to be civil.
Mr. Lin looked as timid as ever, but when he spoke, his tone had completely changed. "Let go of me while I'm still being polite."
What?
Before Housy could react, Mr. Lin gripped his arm, squeezing until his bones creaked. Housy scrambled to break free, shocked by the man's immense strength.
Mr. Lin adjusted his glasses, speaking in a strained voice. "That's right, it was me."
Housy was furious. "Do you have any idea how much trouble you've caused me?"
Mr. Lin asked him back.
"Is it so much trouble that you'd rather die than come to school?"
I'd say you're doing just fine right now.
Housy, unable to control himself, swung a punch at him. Mr. Lin took his arm and executed a clean shoulder throw. Housy felt like his back was about to snap, but he didn't make a sound, grabbing a chair to swing at him instead. Mr. Lin immediately cried for help. The next second, students flooded in to see Mr. Lin trembling in terror and Housy attacking a girl.
Housy froze. What kind of game are you playing?
This is the only way to hold a disciplinary hearing. Housy was completely dumbfounded. At the hearing, Mr. Lin was pushed in by the hacker in a wheelchair, looking dazed, drooling, and acting completely vacant. The hacker produced a power of attorney, officially suing Housy for bullying a fellow student. Housy's lawyer shouted, "This is a thief calling stop thief."
Tell me, who is your attorney?
I'm going to sue him.
The next second, Mr. Lin produced a photo of the Education Bureau chief.
Do you recognize him?
Our chief was a member of the Bar Association and spent 6 years on the Judicial Committee overseeing lawyers.
Does he have the credentials to sue, you think?
The teacher swerved, calling the Education Bureau's intervention in the Student Council an overreach.
Mr. Luo had a hacker send everyone a file. From now on, the Student Council will be under the Bureau's supervision.
Do you think I have the authority to overreach?
As soon as the file was sent, the Student Council members resigned automatically. Mr. Luo started his performance. "Now, I want Housy to bully Student Lin until he has a nervous breakdown." As soon as he finished speaking, Teacher Lin played along and started drooling. "Our student Lin has been left with lifelong psychological trauma, so we need a fair judgment." Housy instantly exploded. "I'm the one being targeted, and I'm the one getting hit. Why should I, the victim, be punished?" This scene was exactly like when he framed Fatty. Now, Housy finally knows what it feels like to have to swallow his grievances while everyone treats him like a devil. Seeing everyone silent, Housy lunged forward, grabbing Teacher Lin. "Say it. Tell them you're acting and framing me." The next second, Teacher Lin twisted his hand back with force. How does it feel to be falsely accused firsthand? Is it painful? Seeing Housy's wrist about to snap, Mr. Luo stepped in to stop it, then formally introduced himself as the inspector specifically tasked with investigating the bullying case, waving at the surveillance camera. At this very moment, Fatty and his mother were watching from the monitoring room, a truly satisfying sight. Mr. Luo stated, "We are here specifically to clear Fatty's name." But Housy still insisted he was the victim, claiming he never even hit him. Mr. Luo replied, "Right, you never hit him. He doesn't have a single bruise on him. But does that mean it wasn't violence? His mental state collapsed because of you. He lived in constant fear, terror, and grievance. No matter what he said, no one believed him, not even his own family. Perhaps he would have preferred being beaten, because only with physical wounds would people believe he was a victim." At this moment, Fatty's mother finally realized the immense injustice her son had suffered and pulled him into her arms. So Mr. Luo decided to revoke the school's major disciplinary action against Fatty and expel Housy immediately. The lawyer tried to argue, but Mr. Luo asked him, "Adults should protect children. Don't you feel ashamed of your behavior just now?"
The lawyer sat down in shame.
It wasn't that he didn't feel ashamed. It's just that money talks. Finally, Fatty broke into a happy smile. This is what a high school student should look like. Halsey was fuming and unexpectedly turned to the murderer, Guizhe, saying, "You said I'd win if I followed your plan, but now I've been expelled. What do I do?"
It turns out that reporting the bullying of the chubby kid to the Education Bureau was Guizhe's idea, and he was the one who introduced the lawyer.
Because in this world, whoever files a complaint first gets to be the victim.
But Guizhe was playing both sides, reporting bullying to the Bureau one moment and helping Halsey find a lawyer the next.
What was his real motive?
Guizhe confessed to Halsey that he was the one who reported him to the Bureau. Halsey was furious, but Guizhe continued. "Do you know what I'm going to do next?"
The very next second, Guizhe shoved Halsey off the edge.
The next morning, the news of Halsey's death made the headlines. Afterward, Guizhe approached Chairman Hong, who was a presidential candidate, just like the director of the Education Bureau.
With the Bureau recently in the spotlight, Chairman Huang feared the director's popularity would surpass his own, so he pulled strings to release Guizhe to fight the director and reap the benefits himself.
Guizhe did not fail the mission and obtained a recording of Halsey before his death.
Chairman Huang immediately confronted the director and played the recording in front of the press. "The Education Bureau ruined my life, and my family is suffering too.
I feel like only my death will end this." It turns out Guizhe wanted to frame the Bureau for this, so the Bureau would be dismantled and he could go back to selling drugs in peace.
Guizhe put on a facade of being a good person and hung a large banner at school that read, "We oppose the Education Bureau for pushing students into despair and to their deaths." After learning this, Teacher Luo immediately had a hacker pull up the school surveillance footage of where Halsey died, but the image was too blurry to see anything.
However, Teacher Luo knew clearly whoever gains from this situation is the murderer.
So he turned to Guizhe and took out the pills he used to sell. "What? A leopard can't change its spots?" Guizhe stopped pretending and laughed. "You and Teacher Jia really are a perfect match, always meddling in other people's business.
Will you end up the same way?
It turns out that 2 years ago, Guizhe often skipped school to sell drugs and was frequently bullied by others. But Teacher Jia, refusing to give up on any student, would wait at Guizhe's door every day, treat his wounds personally, and chase away the thugs on the street.
Jaja told him, "I don't know what you're doing, but do it at school. At the very least, school can keep you safe."
The next morning, Guiz put on his school uniform and obediently headed back to school.
Was he actually planning to study hard? Of course, that was impossible.
Prison couldn't change him, and a teacher certainly couldn't either.
It was only because Teacher Jaja said school could protect him that Guizhe realized the students were his biggest client base. Selling drugs at school made it easier to avoid the police, so he wouldn't have to go outside to find customers every day.
But when Teacher Jaja was dropping off books, she discovered the drugs in his bag. Even then, she didn't give up on saving him. She just wanted him to turn himself in.
Who would have thought that those very words would cost her her life? Back to the present, Guiz was still acting wild. If Teacher Jaja were still alive, you two would probably be married by now, right?
Teacher Luo clenched his fists, and Guizhe continued. "What's wrong?
Are you thinking about hitting me?"
Seeing the other students gather around to record videos on their phones, he quickly pretended to be the victim. "I've already been punished for my actions. If you hit me now, it's just a personal vendetta, so you'd better think twice. Otherwise..."
Before he could finish, Teacher Lo punched him. He fell to the ground, and Guiz immediately put on his Oscar-worthy act, kneeling at his feet and crying, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, I was wrong." The surrounding students snapped photos and posted them all online. Because of this incident, more than half the public demanded the abolition of the Education Bureau. To appease the public, the government had no choice but to disband the agency. In just a few minutes, Teacher Luo, Teacher Lin, the hacker, and the director all became ordinary people with no authority. Guiz had won a total victory, and no one would interfere with his drug dealing ever again.
He gathered his former underlings to contact gang leaders at other schools to drum up business.
As soon as a school had over 100 clients, they would start operations.
He even recruited Chubby Kid to be a runner to deliver drugs to the schools. Guys hid the drugs in sneaker boxes.
The kid didn't suspect a thing, thinking Guiz was just trying to help him earn some extra cash because he was so poor. In less than a month, they had taken over 17 schools in Seoul alone, with about 100 orders per school. The volume required more delivery runners.
Nearly half the class became delivery boys, and the kid finally started to suspect something.
He opened the box to take a look, but inside weren't sneakers at all, but individually packaged pills. Pang wanted to tell Teacher Lu about this, so they agreed to meet at the supermarket across the street after school.
After Teacher Lu arrived, Pang called to say something came up at home and they couldn't meet.
In reality, Guiz had discovered he was a traitor and kept people watching him every day.
However, Guiz was meticulous. During transactions, he would hide pills inside library books, under tables, beneath fire extinguishers, in toilet tanks, and in lockers. Every nook and cranny became
became a transaction spot. Once the students got the pills, they would take a photo to confirm, and the teachers couldn't discover a thing.
Yet, teacher Zhang, who had nearly been killed by a student before, sensed something was wrong.
He found pills in a storage locker and immediately handed them to teacher Luo, who had a wall covered in dense analytical charts, revealing the drug-selling network Guize had built in other schools. It turns out the Education Bureau was intentionally disbanded because they couldn't find evidence of Guize's crimes.
So teacher Luo staged a fight and punched him. Thinking he was no longer a threat, Guize finally let his guard down.
Subsequently, the director personally recorded a video urging teachers at all schools to search for the pills hidden in corners.
You are the guardians of the students. If you teachers back down too, no one will be able to save them.
This video would only circulate among teachers and would not be seen by Guize. But after the video was sent out, only teacher Zhang was collecting pills, while others remained still. However, after a few days, the other teachers all arrived with pills.
Their hesitation wasn't due to fear, but because they couldn't believe their own students had become drug dealers.
The teachers still weren't enough, so the Bureau's teacher Lin and the hacker disguised themselves as delinquents, staging bullying scenes outside various schools, where the hacker would be beaten up and teacher Lin would shout, "Hand over the drugs or I'll send you to your early grave." Other students, seeing this, were so scared they quickly handed over their pills.
Not only that, does everyone remember Black Dragon and White Tiger from the technical school?
The hacker was friends with them, and he got them to go to various schools to collect the pills.
A few days later, the director held a press conference and exposed the collected pills to the reporters.
Through the testimonies of all the teachers, we have confirmed the person selling these drugs is Zhao Guize from Chenyuan High School.
From this moment on, the Education Protection Bureau resumes its duty.
Guize was completely stunned. He never expected his foolproof plan to be providing evidence to the Education Bureau all along. At this moment, teacher Luo and the other two arrive at Chenyuan High School. Waving their Education Bureau IDs, they walk past the students arrogantly. But the target, Guize, has long since fled, leaving only a few shoeboxes on the table.
The hacker notices a cabinet that won't open and suspects something is wrong. He asks teacher Lin for help, but teacher Luo spots a thin wire attached to a plastic sword above, vibrating with their movements, and shouts for them to stop.
The next second, the cabinet opens, the plastic sword launches, and it punctures a balloon.
Teacher Lin shields the hacker, blocking the falling flower.
Immediately after, teacher Luo hears noises coming from downstairs. He runs to the window and sees guys taunting them with a white glove, followed by two henchmen who arrogantly shout, "Idiots, you can't catch us even if you see us." No sooner had they spoken than teacher Lin says, "I'll catch you."
Teacher Luo looks up to see teacher Lin perched on the windowsill.
Do you know what he says?
He claims, "I can fly," then gives himself an order. Ran Hanling, prepare for high-altitude landing. The next second, teacher Lin leaps down, pinning the two henchmen to the ground.
It turns out he accidentally inhaled some flour, causing his mind to become a bit deranged.
Guise is about to rescue his men, but seeing teacher Lo sprinting down, he immediately runs away. Teacher Lin tells him to chase after him, saying, "Leave this to me."
Then he pulls out his phone as a weapon, imagining colorful light beams appearing before him like in a video game, knocking out enemies one by one.
In reality though, teacher Lin is just swiping at the air, hitting no one, and even getting surrounded and kicked on the ground.
The hacker immediately opens his toolbox, strapping a computer keyboard and VR goggles onto himself as armor.
He knocks one guy down with a keyboard swipe.
When another thug hits him with a club, the hacker is unfazed, pulls out two tablets and slams them together, completely wiping out the group. The hacker rushes to ask teacher Lin, "Are you okay?"
Teacher Lin stares at him blankly and says, "You were really cool just now."
Then he collapses onto the hacker.
While the two are having their moment, teacher Luo has already rushed into the teaching building, locking the chains to prevent Guize from escaping. Just as he is about to head upstairs, a group of delinquents calls out to him, "Hey old man, come over here and kowtow to us."
Teacher Luo sighs, "If you want to fight, hurry up. I'm in a rush to find someone."
Teacher Luo charges over, truly knocking out enemies one by one, even pushing down a whole group with one move.
When someone swings a club at him, he breaks their nose with a single palm strike. They were wiped out in 30 seconds before even warming up, and Mr. Lin was still dizzy, unable to even walk.
At this moment, Mr. Luo rushed upstairs and found Guize, a scene identical to when Mr. Jia came looking for him 2 years ago. Guize thought to himself, this couple is truly difficult to deal with.
He still remembered what he said after killing Mr. Jia that day. "My home environment is poor, I had no intention of killing you, and I'm still a minor."
I'll just claim it was accidental manslaughter. I won't be in jail for long.
Most importantly, I fell in love with the teacher.
Killing you is better than watching you marry someone else. He picked up a pill and continued, "I can go back to selling drugs after I get out. But what about you?"
You can never get married.
Even at the final moment, Mr. Jia was still trying to persuade him. You can't go on like this. Now, facing Mr. Luo, he couldn't kill by surprise like before, because Mr. Luo would surely punch him. But the next second, little Fatty appeared, bruised and battered, with a knife held to his throat.
As soon as Mr. Luo turned around, Guizé stabbed him.
Fatty wailed in fear, which snapped Mr. Lin back to his senses.
Looking through the window with the hacker, he saw Mr. Luo get stabbed, but he was struggling just to stand, unable to help at all.
Mr. Lin screamed in frustration. He had never felt so helpless in his life.
Guizé swore to Mr. Luo, "Just let me kill you, and I'll let Fatty go."
If you see Mr. Jia down there, be sure to tell him I am sorry.
He then pinned Mr. Luo against the wall, intending to strike again. But Mr. Luo grabbed his hand so firmly he couldn't pull away.
Mr. Lu never once complained of pain.
Seeing this, Guizé's henchmen attacked Fatty, threatening Mr. Luo not to make any sudden moves. Mr. Luo had to let go, but his expression was calm. He had long wished to join Mr. Jia on the other side. Although they weren't married yet, he had always considered Mr. Jia his husband. Seeing Mr. Luo slump over, Mr. Lin completely lost it, shouting and roaring outside. Guizé told Mr. Luo,
"After killing you, the accidental manslaughter excuse won't work anymore, and self-defense doesn't quite fit, so I'll definitely be locked up for a long time."
But it doesn't matter. I can still go abroad for school.
As soon as he finished speaking, music suddenly played over the hallway intercom, followed by all the lights going out and the red emergency lights turning on. In the next second, the henchman was knocked down by a flying kick, and Mr. Lin quickly pushed Fatty into the classroom.
The thug climbed up and grabbed Teacher Lin's collars.
The lights were turned on again, and upon seeing it was just a woman, he became even more enraged. "Who the hell are you?" At that moment, the anger in Teacher Lin's eyes could spit fire. "I'm an inspector from the Education Bureau, here specifically to deal with you." With those words, she delivered a brutal headbutt and kicked him straight into the classroom. The thug tried to crawl back up, but Teacher Lin kicked him unconscious.
Without little Fatty as a weakness, Teacher Luo no longer had to endure it.
He grabbed Guiz by his uniform and spun him around, sending him crashing into the wall and down to the floor. He had no real martial skill. He relied entirely on underhanded threats. Teacher Luo handed the knife back to him. "Come on, let's have a real fight." As soon as Guizi reached out, Teacher Luo slapped him down. "You shouldn't have reached out. You just missed another chance to reform yourself." Guiz tried to climb up and resist again, but Teacher Luo slapped him down once more. "That's enough."
Everyone is going to school.
Guiz struggled up again, and Teacher Luo followed with a third slap, then continued. "Who dares to stop others from getting an education?" Teacher Luo grabbed his collar with one hand, raised the other high, and said, "Whoever it is, they must accept an iron-fisted education." This final slap crushed Guiz's urge to resist, and he finally begged for mercy. "I was wrong. Please let me go. Please give me one more chance." Teacher Luo said coldly, "Chances aren't given by others. They only appear when you truly want them yourself." Upon hearing this, tears suddenly welled up in Guiz's eyes because Teacher Jia had said the exact same thing, yet he had murdered him with his own hands.
Guai suddenly asked, "Do you know what Teacher Jia said to me before he died?"
He said, "Guys, you can't act like this." When Teacher Luo heard his lover's last words being spoken by this bastard, he couldn't help but want to kill him. Guys continued, Why can't I act like this? He always pretended to care so much about me. I don't need anyone's pity at all. Just kill me instead." The teacher raised his fist, gritted his teeth, his entire body trembling with the effort. But in the end, he let Guizé go, and just like Jia, he spoke those same words. "Guizé, you can't act like this."
It's okay, let's start over.
As he said these words, Teacher Luo was already choked up, tears welling in his eyes. He didn't want to let Guizé off the hook at all, but this was Jiajia's wish.
He hoped every student could be safe and healthy, know self-respect, distinguish right from wrong, possess an independent personality, have the confidence to choose their own life, and live freely and honestly, rather than squandering their future through greed and corruption like Guizé.
That is why Mr. Luo said, "This is the last chance Teacher Jiajia is giving you."
At this point, Guizé had completely collapsed.
He roared, "What are you people? Do you think you're Jesus or Buddha?"
Guizé feared neither the law nor death. He only feared being pitied or saved. From his actions, it's clear his upbringing was far from happy.
His parents were likely long gone, and his prolonged solitude led him to believe that only power and money are the only ways to protect himself.
The kindness and salvation offered by others would fully expose the pettiness and fragility deep within his heart. In his eyes, this pity was an act of condescension, and the torment it brought was more painful than death itself. That is why he could ask, "Do you think you're Jesus?" In his worldview, people who forgive others unconditionally simply do not exist.
He refuses to believe, and even more so, refuses to admit that such kindness is real.
To accept salvation would be to acknowledge his own evil, so he would rather suffer the harm than be forgiven. If Mr. Luo's final punch had actually landed, the meaning of Iron Fist education would have been lost. The Iron Fist is merely a means to discipline, while enlightening the heart is the ultimate goal.
Mr. Lu took only a few steps before collapsing to the ground.
In a trance, he seemed to see Jiajia smiling at him, still as gentle as ever.
Mr. Lu seemed to hear him praising him for doing the right thing, so Mr. Lu smiled too. He had fulfilled Jiajia's final wish. Yet, the pain in his heart could only fade with time. Fortunately, Ms. Lin would be there to pull him through, and the hacker and the bureau chief would also be by his side to help him endure the difficult days. Afterward, the bureau chief called the police. Guizé and his gang were all arrested and thrown in jail. The Education Bureau directly expelled Guizé and permanently banned him from entering the school again. When the bureau chief saw his son-in-law coming out clutching his wounds, he instantly exploded in rage and turned to go after Guizé. "My daughter is already gone. And you still want to kill my only son-in-law?
Are you even human?
Fortunately, the police car drove off quickly. Otherwise, the bureau chief would have ended up in jail himself.
At the press conference, the bureau chief said, "The meaning of education lies in imparting skills and cultivating a good character. That is what education is.
Therefore, our education bureau will fight for this until the very end."
The chairman, who was bent on becoming president, was also arrested.
The moment he saw the chief, he lunged to bite him, but the chief simply dodged, and the chairman fell flat on his face.
Just you wait. Once I get out, I'm definitely going to kill you.
The chief didn't feel like wasting words and broke his nose with a single punch.
You old geezer, looks like you need some iron-fisted education too.
Afterward, the entire bureau went to pay their respects to the late Teacher Lowe and buried him on a high mountain.
The scenery here is beautiful. They planted a tree for him, symbolizing how a teacher is like a towering tree rooted in this land, protecting every student beneath it.
The leaves were tied with the students' well wishes. Teacher, the mountain breeze will hug you for us.
May you be forever carefree in the heights.
The chief wiped his daughter's tombstone clean before reluctantly heading down the mountain.
The hacker, walking in front, suddenly grabbed Teacher Lin's hand, only to be shaken off the next second.
Why are you holding my hand?
The hacker said blankly, "I was afraid you trip over a stone."
Teacher Lin sneered. "I'm a retired Special Forces soldier, and I'm afraid of a stone?"
Who do you think you're looking down on?
This scene left the chief a bit confused.
What's going on with them?
Teacher Luo said they have feelings for each other, but neither seems to realize it.
It turns out that when Teacher Lin was delirious from the flower last night, the hacker's steady embrace helped her regain her senses, which is how she managed to save Teacher Lowe in time.
The two are currently in an awkward phase, but even that can't stop them from educating the students.
At this school, a thug leader was on the basketball court, beating the players with a stick.
Others were lying on the ground, terrified and silent.
The thug leader said, "You're only able to go to school here because of me. Yet you ungrateful wretches dare not offer me the money you earn from playing? Are you looking for a beating?" Just as the thug leader was about to strike again, a voice suddenly shouted, "Stop!"
The next second, the hacker, dressed in black, walked onto the court, cracking his knuckles.
His aura clearly showed he had been specially trained by Teacher Luo. He told the students to get up. "I'm from the Bureau of Education. Don't be afraid."
The students suddenly felt a glimmer of hope and stood up one by one.
The hacker told the thug leader to stand up, but the man was a head taller and grabbed him by the collar immediately.
Seeing this, the students obediently went back to lying down.
Right then, Teacher Lin also arrived. "Everyone, get up right now." A famous person once said, "If talking works, then use words. If a beating is what it takes, then give them a beating."
As soon as he finished speaking, Teacher Lin charged over.
I thought there would be a big fight, but Big Brother Yama gave a light push, sending the hacker right into his arms, and both of them fell flat on their faces.
The students sighed and went back to lying on their desks.
Then Teacher Luo, that famous person, made his entrance. The three formed a triangle, and Teacher Luo, hands on his hips like a gang boss, said to Big Brother Yama, "You might not be aware, but the Education Authority has no restrictions when it comes to disciplining students. So from now on, we're going to provide you with iron fist education."
Teacher Lin and the hacker linked arms, and the next second, Teacher Luo launched himself off their hands, raised his palm again, and struck down hard.
The Education Authority vows that as long as there is evil on campus, Iron Fist education will exist.
This is the finale of episodes 9 and 10 of Totalarian Classroom, also known as Iron Fist Education.
Question of the day. If there were to be a second season of this show, would you still want to hear Bear's commentary?
If you want to watch, comment 31. If not, comment 32. I personally feel the existence of the Education Authority is very meaningful. Having covered so many videos about Korean school bullying, I believe that the phenomenon of bullying must truly exist in reality.
Actually, I was bullied when I was in elementary school. At the time, I didn't want to tell my parents, and I felt it was really difficult to talk to teachers.
If the Education Authority existed, and we had people like Teacher Luo and Teacher Lin to back us up, we certainly wouldn't have been bullied.
The Education Authority's role isn't just mediating student conflicts. It also protects the rights of teachers and even supports parents.
When schools cannot protect students, someone needs to step up, face the evildoers directly, use strong-arm iron fist tactics to uphold justice and fairness, and protect the vulnerable.
And Teacher Luo's counterpart, Teacher Jaja, is truly a good teacher.
Neck, what do you think?
Indeed, Teacher Jaja's refusal to give up on any student is the unique gentleness of an educator, and the actions of the Education Authority are guarding this pure passion, protecting every youth that should have been growing toward the sun.
Your likes are the motivation for Bear to keep updating. We'll see you